Handsome guy. Text that to me, okay? Any idea where I can find him?" "That's the thing," she said. "He posts his club and party dates on his website, but I went to the last 3 and he was a no-show. Once he had a stand-in. The other times there were just a bunch of angry partiers and an empty DJ booth." She wrote the website details and Jeremy Oliver's phone number and home address on a paper napkin and gave it to Kelson. "No one's seen him in 2 weeks." Kelson read the napkin. "JollyOllie.com? I know, but the things he could do with his tongue. Please don't tell me." Kelson folded the napkin and slipped it into a pocket. "How much are the shoes and watches worth?" "The watches, maybe $100. The shoes about 60,000. "For sneakers?" "Designer sneakers. They start around 500 a pair and go up. I want them back. If you get them, I have another job for you." "I'll ask around." As she wrote a check for a week's work, Kelson found himself humming Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll. She raised an eyebrow at him and said, "Brain candy?" He said, "The first night I had sex with my ex, it was playing." "I'd rather not know," she said. "We went back to my apartment, turned on the radio, and Nancy did a striptease. I always hated the song, but now it gets me." "I see." "I mean really gets me." Genevieve Bower got up. "Let me know when you find Jeremy." "What about the rest of your garlic knots?" "You eat them," she said. "Delicate tummy." When she reached to shake his hand, her sweater stretched tight over her, all of her, and he said, "Sorry about the Carol Doda thing." "Look," she said, "you're human. You don't need to apologize for that." "I like you," he said. "You only need to be sorry if you use your screwed-upness to hurt someone." "Screwed-upness?" "Yeah, you seem to have a bad case of it." "Really? I just got shot in the head." She left then, and he sat at the table alone, dipping dough into marinara, listening to the conversations of other diners and talking out loud to himself about how crazy he was to let a woman's sexy swallowing of a garlic knot persuade him to take a job that sounded as if it would only aggravate him, and if he succeeded, force him to convey counterfeit goods. The waitress refilled his Sprite, and he complimented her on her hair and her neck, and, because he couldn't help himself, her knees. After that, the manager kept an eye on him. All would have been well if the conversation at the other tables hadn't experienced one of those lulls just as the ceiling speakers started playing a new song, Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll. "Oh, no," Kelson said out loud. "Oh, yes," his brain answered. "Don't do it," he said. "Do it till you're satisfied," his brain said. "Do it all night long. Do the hoochie-coochie. Do the Watusi." Kelson stood up at his table. His eye twitched. His arms twitched. His legs twitched. He fumbled with the zipper on his pants. He said, "No, no, no." His brain said, "Yes, yes, yes." He stripped off his pants and danced with his chair. 2 months had passed since he'd done something like this, and his head buzzed with the pleasure of a long-denied joy. "Freedom," he said to the waitress. As I Love Rock and Roll pumped from the ceiling speakers, he climbed onto his table and sang along. Then the table legs blew out, and he landed butt-naked in the deep dish pie of a lady in a nearby booth. "Ma'am," he said, "your pepperoni just poked me in the ass." The police arrived and shot him with a taser. He shook on the floor to the bass beat until they jolted him a 3rd time. 2. As the police booked him at the Harrison Street station, Kelson chattered about being an ex-cop, about the undercover work he did on the narcotics squad, about his friends, acquaintances, and enemies still on the force, and about his kittens. Then he asked to talk to his old commander from the narcotics division, Darren Malinkowski. When the officers ignored that, he asked to talk to Dan Peters or Venus Johnson, homicide cops he knew from the biggest case he'd worked since going private. "You wrecked a pizza," said one of the cops. "You ruined a lady's appetite. That don't count as homicide. Maybe sex crimes wants to talk to you. Maybe Miss Manners. Call Sheila Prentice at the Rehabilitation Institute. Dr. P. She's my therapist. She'll explain my deal to you." "Not much to explain," the cop said. "Indecent exposure, disorderly conduct. The lady who